Alright. That's a call from California. Jamaa yuko California anasema anataka kuongea Kiswahili. Haya, naona Kipkenya anasema Dr. Kolongbelo Kiro and we'll do that. Ngea Abraham anasema don't fool Kenya about BBI. Edu anasema Dr. Kuru is talking facts. Yela Bindu anasema my friend Kuru, you are on point. BBI is a scam. Akashka heading nowhere. Pauline Chero, BBI is dead on arrival. David Osenda Monda anasema yes, that is David Stereo Monda anasema why do you think it's so hard for Kenyans to wash their hands of yesterday's political families like the Kenyatas and Odingas? They offer no solutions. They keep getting voted in by fake items. Farouk MK anasema Ekuru, a court should be part of your daily panel discussion. By the way, Ekuru, what happened, bana? We had agreed that you'll be a panel here every day. What's going on, bana? You need to come in here, bana.
I can do every week, bana.
All right, GB, anafikia sema GB.
Tunatafuta unga, bana.
Yes. Tunatafuta ukitoka hapo naenda kutafuta asubuhi. David Kigacha tusikize anasema, "Hello, good morning."
Good morning, Bichok.
Habari asubuhi.
Niko salama, this is Mushendo.
Mushendo vipi?
Governor.
Yes, habari cool.
Mwadhaniwa, kona hatia?
Ndio na Kaoru man.
Habari ya Kiambu?
Sasa hiyo road drive lazima tuifanye before Christmas.
Twende Turkana bana. You know that's the cradle of humankind bana.
Maswali hapo. Now, I am one very disappointed Kenyan. That Kenyans have been exploited by commercial insurances for a very long time.
I agree with you.
Then a whole minister of health stands and tells the entire republic that it is on its own. It is illegal. It is uncalled for. NHIF has been established by an act of parliament. It should be the last hiding place for Kenyans, especially when it comes to medical insurances. Kenyans have been very faithful, contributing a lot of money to NHIF. And I am calling to our learned friends like you, we come together and we must take this government to task. It is not possible that you can have 12 billion shillings for a useless referendum. And you cannot protect Kenyans. 12 billion is enough to take care of 1.4 million Kenyans who can be sick from COVID.
Absolutely.
Yes, Governor.
Yes. So we have not even come close to that number of 1.4 million people with this COVID. And therefore, it is possible to stop all political vagary that is BBI and concentrate on the well-being of Kenyans, especially on health. You have not given them housing, they don't have jobs, they don't have nothing, and now you want to tell us that when we get sick, we cannot be treated. As I'm aware that my NHIF ought to cover me to a tune of almost 1.7 million. Why should it not cover me for COVID?
You know, Governor Muchendu, just to interject briefly, you see, what Mutahi Kagwe confirmed to Kenyans is that we actually do not have a government. Because a government has to come through for people at a time like this. When they say that you are actually on your own, it's a confirmation we have no government, and that he himself is not even a minister for health. He does not understand what matters health is. So I share your pain, and actually you wonder, why do we take insurance? In fact, over and above NHIF, do you know even private insurance companies now are not covering any COVID-related illness?
They are not. And you see, NHIF is a government insurance. It is not commercial.
Exactly. And
you know, we contribute to go to our health.
And that's why you saw even from the president's State of the Nation address, you know, he talks of things like affordable housing. In fact, I just want to share with you a comment here from Abbas Njuguna. And Abbas Njuguna is asking, which affordable housing and government is even demolishing shelters owned by the less fortunate? Instead, they should have moved them to better houses. You know, so you have a government that does not even know what it's talking about.
Yes.
So don't be surprised.
I think I can now authoritatively confirm that indeed Uhuru is Moses and Ruto is Aaron. Now we need to get a Joshua somewhere that he did not only hear of the promised land, he got to it and conquered. And it is rather unfortunate we are being led by Moses and Aaron, people who could not obey simple commandments of God. That's why they were brought from the promised land.
You know, while you are at it, Mushendu,
yes, sir.
There is another thing that I think David from isn't California or New York raised.
From New York.
Yes.
That what is wrong with us Kenyans? Why don't we want to part with these so-usual names? And I think I want to respond to David by saying, it's not like there has never been alternative leadership in this country. It's been there. Even in the last general election, there were 8 presidential candidates. I think ni kama kwamba sisi wa Kenya labda ni kama sisi tumerogwa na mchawi aliyeturoga, nafikiri alikufa ama alijinyonga. Kwa hivyo hakuna mtu anaweza kutuokoa katika hii uchawi. Because
I think basically what we are saying in this country is that the priorities of Wanjiko do not matter, because I can tell you BBI is not a priority for Wanjiko.
Exactly.
Health, food, shelter, really basic things that we started asking for during independence. I mean, we cannot even fulfill a promise that was made by the independent government to date, 50 years later.
They said that at independence they told us that they will eradicate poverty, disease, and ignorance. Leo hii hata kwenda shule ni shida, meaning there are more ignorant Kenyans. It's like government every day is just creating ignorant people. They have killed our public schools. You know, they have killed our public health sector, hospitals. So really diseases are increasing. You know, ukiona kama hii COVID ni kama tu homa. It's a question of health. But imagine,
you know, when you have a government, I am currently I was looking at a story of I think Daily Nation, where we are losing about 2.1 billion shillings in the name of ghost students in schools. You will be surprised that we started losing this money in 2013. The last 10 years of Kibaki government did not have this evil of people stealing money meant for students.
Yeah.
And this government has terribly failed us, because they are failing us in education, which is paramount. They are failing us in health, which is important. They are failing us in shelter, which is something our Kenyans should not live without. I think it is safe to say that Jubilee as a government, and when I say Jubilee, I mean every member of Jubilee, has terribly failed this country. It is as safe and is as simple as that.
But look at the paradox, Mushendu. Yes. Today everybody agrees Jubilee is a failed government. A government that actually lied to our children that they'll give them a laptop in 2013. How do you lie to children as a parent?
You can lie to anybody else and not your kids.
But not your kids. So these people lied to us. They lied to our young people that they'll build for them stadiums in Kimarin, Wapi, 9 stadia, paka na leo hii. And yet, this is the paradox. This is why I'm saying Wakenya tumerogwa. Saizi, going to 2022, everybody is saying Ruto is the guy to beat in 2022. Yet Ruto is number 2 in Jubilee. So ni nani alituroga sisi wa Kenya?
You know, I'll tell you this, cool, If this government is able to get their act together, I saw Kibaki revamp economy after a very contested election in less than 18 months. And he did amazing, especially on the GDP. But it is because he got his act together and put what is important to Kenya ahead.
Kibaki had a vision.
Right now, somebody is hell-bent in putting BBI as the main topic and as the main need of this country. I am telling you before God, and I hope our development partners can come out clearly and talk. We are looking at Europe, first world countries. They have dropped projects to deal with the pandemic. They have cut budgets to deal with these things. We are simply talking about Kenyans on their own, and BBI is for everybody. Who the fuck needs that BBI if it cannot take care of Kenyans?
You know, Mushendu, let me tell you, this is when theft of public money is happening and Kenyans are not observing. Because today, which county government, which ministry can say that they are doing any development projects? What development project in a pandemic like this? So you will have expected that a responsible government will reallocate some of that money, especially development money, into COVID-19, so that then you save the country.
Kenya, a good is only in Kenya that today you cannot hear of a supplementary budget because of COVID. I've looked at the globe and I can tell you 161 countries that have reorganized their budget so that they can deal with this pandemic. But in this country, we are reorganizing our budget so that that we can deal with BBI.
To steal, not to deal with BBI, to steal.
And I thought we talk.
Yes, Mushendu, ukimaliza.
There are two types of Kenyans who cannot allow us to have uncontested referendum. Yeah. One clique is those that believe that BBI is going to revive their political life. And then we have another clique that has done their calculus and mathematics on how much money they will steal during BBI campaign. And therefore, they insist there must be a Jubilee campaign. You saw yesterday some people doing round with limousines on BBI. Well, they cannot give that money for COVID. Shame on them. Na Kikuyu tunasema, Maro hiada mageshoga, may their stomach banners they they are not helping.
We'll need to write that alafu tutumie tena kesho. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day.
Good day, brothers, and have a good day. And that drive we must do. Lazima tutoe Bitok studio.
Haya, tutafanya baba.
Huyu tutamtembeza the cradle of humankind. Naone the real original human beings where they all started.
Nobody is going to drive apart from me.
Sasa tutafanya sasa hii wiki. Tutaanza kufanya weekend. From Friday tunapotea. Tunarudi Monday na big stories.
Sawa, my brother.
Asante sana Mushendu, have a great day.
Bitok.
Yes, sir.
Mushendu has raised a very important point about prosperity of any nation, of any country in the world. If you do not have visionary leadership in any country, if you do not have a leadership that thinks beyond themselves, that country will not prosper. And this is why, I mean, there's a very tired example I like to give of how Kenya was compared back to the tiger economies of Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, back in the 60s. Actually, we were at par or even better than some of those countries. But it took a visionary leadership, a leadership with vision, to actually change those economies today to be even like almost 50 times the economy of Kenya. So any country will go, I mean, will jump from the cliff if it has poor leadership. It's like even you at home, hata kwako nyumbani. If as a parent you cannot guide your family, your children well, then that family will end up being dysfunctional or it will end up being failed. Now, David from New York raised a very important question. Kwa nini sisi wa Kenya hatuwezi kukataa hizi majina ambazo tumesikia tangu zamani, Kenyatta, the Odingas? Shida ni sisi pia wa Kenya, ni siasa zetu za kikabila. Kwamba tunatia uzito sana kwa mambo ya ukabila na mtu wetu. Na sisi tulisema kama Third Way Alliance Kenya, hakuna mtu anakula ukabila. Hakuna mtu alimwandikia Mwenyezi Mungu barua na kusema ati leo nataka kuzaliwa Mkalenjin, sijui Mjaluo, sijui Mkikuyu ama nini. We must be able to celebrate our diversity. And I think these leaders are a tiny minority, and this is what I'll tell David. It is us, the people, who actually elect the kind of leaders. In fact, they say the leadership of any country is a reflection of its society. You know? I mean, look at the debate. I mean, I'm actually happy that he's calling from New York. You see, look at the contestation in the American election. The whole world now is debating, how could America, that claims to be one of the most powerful countries in the world, actually elect a president like Trump, who has actually enhanced certain things like, racism, has no respect for women and those kind of things. So it is a reflection of the society. And right now there are people who are arguing that I think the choice of, for example, Joe Biden is actually going to rehabilitate the American society into the world space. So the same thing with us Kenyans here. I mean, I'll tell you this. After the 2010 constitution, and you know very well that I was involved in the writing of this country's constitution, I went round in a number of countries as a consultant to speak about the making of Kenya's constitution. To be honest with you, kwanza the rest of Africa, they so much admire Kenya, especially the way in which we wrote our country's constitution. I mean, I've been to countries like Tunisia, Egypt, Liberia, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Zambia, to talk to them about how we made our own constitution. One of the things they ask about us Kenyans, which probably speaks to our national psyche as a people. One of the geniuses of Kenya's constitution is chapter 6, leadership and integrity. Meaning, Kenyans actually sat and said, we want a certain type and character of leaders. But one question I've never been able to answer. They ask me, but you guys, in this chapter 6, you say you want a certain type and character of leader. How come you elected 2 ICC suspects? You know, hilo swali mi limenishinda kujibu. Because now it speaks to our hearts and minds as a people. And therefore, to David's question, why do we keep on electing the same people all the time, even without ideas? I mean, just let's rewind back to 2017, during election time, campaign period. Raila will tell his supporters, Uhuru Kenyatta, driver mulevi, conductor mwizi. Then Uhuru, on the other hand, will go to Central Kenya and say, hey, Kimodo Geke, Kimodo Mogoroki, sijui nini. Then the 2 tribes and regions, Central and Nyanza, will be seen as enemies of each other. Wananchi wa kawaida. But March 9th, 2019, handshake happens. And the people who are told, Kimodo Geke, Kimodo Mogoroki, mwingine anasema alikuwa anaambiwa sijui ni mulevi, conductor ni mwizi, saizi wako pamoja. So this speaks to the problem of us Kenyans as a society. This is probably what Albert Einstein described as insanity. Doing the same thing all the time and expecting different results. So I think we are insane in this country when it comes to politics. There is something that just happens to us. Ukiangalia tu Balo TV, nikiona tu Bitok mtu wetu. Unadunga tu hapo. Hata unasahau ati mimi jirani wangu ni Mturu, ni Mluo, na tunaombana chumvi, maji, tunasaidiana, watoto wetu wanaenda the same school. And again, you know, one of the things that one of the reason why for me, for the longest time I stopped going to church.
You did?
Yes. Because I see a lot of pretense in our society. The last time I went to church was about 2 weeks ago when I went for Nzamba Kitonga's Requiem Mass at All Saints Cathedral. And, you know, I was very observant. I was watching the way Kenyans wananyenyekea. Kwanza wakienda kupokea sakramenti. Unaona Wakenya wananyenyekea. They walk slowly, you know, like as if, I mean, you can see the very holy people. You see a guy looking so humble, so like heartbeat. Then wakitoka, they say, no, until wakitoka hiyo kanisa, wanakuwa Mjaluo, wanakuwa Mturukana, wanakuwa Mluya, wanakuwa ODM.
So tuko kukula sakramenti kila siku. Kukuwa na mahali serikali inapenda sakramenti.
How honest can we be pretentious? Kabla tujakula tunaomba. Kwa political rallies tunaomba. Hata hapo kwa hii kipindi yako ulianza na maombi. Na najua utafunga na maombi.
Lakini at least I'm not pretentious. Yeah. At least pretend naomba lakini.
Ninashangaa na Wakenya. Kwa nini if the 10 commandments cannot guide us? Sometimes I wonder how a 264 document called the Katiba of Kenya can guide us. 10 commandments tu ambayo nasema usiibe, usidanganye, usitamani sijui mke mwenzako, sijui 10 commandments easy. Don't kill. And yet we are doing those things every other day. We kill each other, we hate each other, yet we go. And you know, in this country, we are even told, I think we are almost, 90-something% religious. So how come this religion here too, it doesn't influence the way we make decisions?
We finish in 8 minutes. Tunamaliza in 8 minutes. Kabla hiyo, kwa hiyo dakika 8 nataka kuchezea video mbili hapa. Alafu utaniambia what you think about them.
Mabishops jana wa Catholic waliketi chini wakauliza swali ya maana sana. Wakasema inawezekana kweli kufanya campaign ya BBI na referendum wakati watu wengi wanakufa kwa COVID? Wakauliza is it the right thing to do? Saa hii tumeambiwa jana hakuna pesa ya NHIF italipia mtu akilazwa hospitali kwa mambo ya COVID. Lakini iko 14 billion ya kufanya BBI. Sio ni wazimu ama ni kurogwa? Because really, where are our priorities as a country? Watu wetu wanakufa, watu hawana pesa ya kufanyia biashara, lakini tumewaambia ukiuliza serikali, sasa hii watu wenye wako hospitali. Let me tell you something, and I'm speaking here, and there is no leader here who has not had a relative or a friend or a neighbor who has died of COVID. One of my friends yesterday died, a very big person in public service. Alikufa akitafuta hospitali ya kupata oxygen. Oxygen only. and the doctor akasema angepata tu kitanda mahali ya kulalia ya oxygen angekufa. So the question I ask myself, huyu Mutahi Kagwe na ile pesa tulikuwa tunachanga ya Chinese, ya wapi, ya nini, hii pesa yote hatuwezi hata kununua tu ile oxygen ya kuokoa maisha ya mtu. Na kama mtu mkubwa wako public service anakosa oxygen, na mwananchi wa kawaida akikosa oxygen atafika hata hiyo hospitali? Jamani, please, what is going on? I want to ask President Uhuru Kenyatta, what is going on in this country? Should we prioritize putting money in saving the lives of the people? Governments dunia mzima wamebadilisha their manifesto kuokoa wananchi yao kutoka COVID. Maministers yetu bado wanasema hatutanunua hata dawa, hata tukiambiwa 90% itaokoa watu, watangojea tu, tutangojea mpaka siku gani watu wangapi wakufa?
Without a single member of NASA. Sasa jameni, isipokuwa kupoteza 14 billion shillings ambaye tungetumia kujenga mabarabara na kuweka hospitali na kuleta uncertainty in the country, what is he going to do? Hata mkienda mumiminie yote, what is he going to do? What can he do? Hata akichaguliwa, we have the opportunity in parliament within 2 months, 3 months. Tumemtoa.
Wasikia? Alright, acha tuanze na Murkomen kwanza. Tuanze na Murkomen alafu ndio nyingine.
Yeah, Murkomen is absolutely right. I mean, all governments in the world today have changed their policies. They are even, cushioning the employees. They are telling people to sit back, sit at home, and they are providing even free food. We saw it in Rwanda. We saw it in a country like Bolivia. Some of the poorest countries in the world, actually, that's not even comparable to Kenya, have actually come through for their people. This is the only country. I mean, I think Kenya seems to be the only unique country in the world that has zero strategy, zero plans on how to combat this COVID-19. You've even seen the scandal about back to school, back to school for kids. I decided with my wife, my children are not going back to school. Let them stay. Kwani 1 year ni nini hata wakichelewa 1 year, So, Murkomen is very right. We are a country that is not getting our priorities right. We would rather our people die, than save their lives, And you look at the president, he's totally saying the opposite. He is not he's not coordinated. I don't think he even understands the problem with this COVID. How actually it's killing. Can you imagine a Bitoka? And this you don't even need to be told. Countries with very advanced health infrastructure, are actually struggling. I tend to think that we are very lucky people. We are very lucky as a country. I think God loves us. That imagine people are not dying in drones like the way you see, for example, in a country like the US, where people are, states like Texas already reached 1 million cases, Illinois, 1 million cases, California, there is. So imagine in Kenya today, and we are so lucky that this pandemic is actually not widespread, but we don't seem to have any plans. Like Murkomen says, all countries in the world have actually reorganized their budgets. Mushendu pointed the same thing to just handle this COVID-19. UK doing the same thing. They are going for lockdown. So yes, it's unfortunate that we have this kind of leadership today, whose priorities are very selfish, very myopic, very disorganized, even in thought. They actually do not know what they even want themselves. I don't even think they actually understand that they're actually in positions of leadership. Because you see, for them, a lot of these people, and that's why you see the clamor for 2022 and BBI, it's about ticking the box. Oh, I've been a prime minister, I've been a president, I've been a deputy this, I've been a deputy that. That's all they care, So I've even seen an emergency meeting called by this government. During, for example, Moi's time, and I'm not saying that Moi's regime was necessarily the best, but at least we knew that government meets every Thursday. Cabinet meets every Thursday to discuss the problems of Kenyans, the challenges with Kenyans and the government. Me, I can't even tell you when last this government met. At least we used to see ministers go to State House. You assume they'll be discussing about governance. They'll be discussing about how to handle situations such as the ones that we are dealing with. So this is a confused government, and I can't wait for it to go. And that's why you can see even President Uhuru in his State of the Nation address, he's totally confused. He keeps on talking about the big four. How on earth do you talk about the big four in a pandemic like this one? How? Should be telling us about enough bed space, like Murkomen says. Imagine a public civil servant dies because they could not get oxygen. We imagine mwananchi wa kawaida. Na wewe ni mtu ako na medical cover of maybe 10 million.
Yes, serikali.
Inpatient. Inalipwa na taxes zako. It's paid by your taxes, but he still dies even without medical cover.
Oh,
saizi wewe unalipa NHIF unaambiwa you're on your own.
Tupambane na hali yetu. Haya sawa, after even giving billions, I think we gave 20 billion to county governments. We've not even had enough beds. We don't even have a bed space. Nisikia kuna county ilienda ikalisa vitanda ya shule, wakaleta kufanya PE na picha alafu wakarudisha. So we live in an interesting country. What's your tackle of the day?
Yes, we live in a very interesting country, but I will also say this to the people of Kenya. Let us stop complaining and lamenting and being curious onlookers. We must participate in choosing a government that we want. It is our responsibility. The government is ours, and the leadership is ours. So we are the people who can make these choices, and we should stop just blindly following certain leaders. And this blind following is why you can see even BBI is being shoved down our throats, even when it does not make sense in a pandemic such as this one. I will still say that these leaders who are misleading us do not come from planet Mars. They come from within us. They are our relatives, they are our uncles, our husbands, wives, blah, 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 all those things. So we are directly responsible for the kind of government that we put because we make choices. And I'll go back to the point raised earlier by David Monda from New York. There are choices in Kenya today. There will even be choices in 2022. You'll probably see more Kenyans in the ballot for presidency who want to form the next responsible government. It is the choices that we make that determine the kind of government we have in place. So let's challenge ourselves and break away from this past. This past of these leaders, if you look at BBI, it's not even about Kenyans, by the way. It's not about Kenyans. This is about personal interests. How do we make sure that certain leaders are in place to protect our interests? It's not about Kenyans. So I still throw back the challenge to the people of Kenya that let's stop lamenting. I stopped my international concerns to come and get involved in our politics because I want to make my contribution. And this is what I'll also tell you out there. Make your contribution from wherever you are. It's not too late.
All right. It's never too late to stop reggae.
Nobody can stop reggae. And then, of course, Corona happened. Yeah? Like they say, you can cheat people, but you cannot cheat death. Even factors of natural attrition will catch up with some of these individuals.
Itapatana na nyinyi. All right. Asante sana. Thank you so much, Ikulu, for coming in. It's always a pleasure to have you. We have to have you more.
Yes, I look forward to coming again. Bora see every day because otherwise you'll have to pay my bills.
Kumbili, give us 2 days a week.
We can do. Let's start with one day a week.
2 days a week would work better.
Yeah. I'll look into my calendar.
Then tutatuambia. Unajua watu wanapenda mambo yako hapa, so that we can start having these conversations.
I can see your program is very popular from all over the world. People are really watching.
This is a global program bana. But there's someone who has said leo kuna mtu ambaye ameweza kuweka comment hapa akasema we should link up with one of the TV stations. This is someone who made here. So anyway, we are going to launch our channel very soon. We are going to be running, but we are going to be running fully online because we are trying to break off from the traditional video.
I want to encourage you to do this more because as you can see from mainstream media houses in Kenya, they've been politicized.
Yeah, sure.
They don't air alternative divergent views. They have lacked in analysis. In fact, you wonder what it actually makes me now begin to question journalism, the ethics and the ethos in journalism. But you're doing very well. I mean, getting Kenyans to listen to you from all over, and I think this is the way to go. Digital media now is the way to go.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So very soon we are going to launch our channel. We're going to run fully online so that we can have these conversations more, and you can also partner with us. said if you want to advertise your business, tuko na mali ito Tujengane. We have a section called Tujengane where you advertise for your business at very affordable rates. So karibu hata yako ya sheria, utakuja tupange biashara yako ndio utapelekana vipi. So
saizi tuencourage Wakenya saizi kufanya kupunguza mizigo. That's what
lakini tunaongeza mizigo ya biashara. Unajua kama una hela pia inakuwa ni vigumu. Kuna poll pia tulikuwa tumeweza kuidunga hapo. We had a poll that we ran and the poll question was which proposal is pro people? Ya kwanza ilikuwa BBI, ya pili ilipunguza mzigo. Naomba kuwasomea results ya kwamba BBI imeenda na 9% na punguza mzigo imeenda na 91%. So he could have caught by the before he leaves he needs to pay me for running this poll.
Yeah. Sasa hapo ndio corruption inaanza kwa hii.
Hii ni kazi bwana. Hizo vitu tunakula jasho. Lazima fanya kazi.
Ni wananchi.
All right, thank you so much guys for joining in. We have to see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much everyone who has been supporting the tackle. The diaspora people, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much watu wa diaspora. Na nashukuru sana kwa kuweza kujumuika na sisi kila siku. Na ule mgeni pia amekuja wa kwanza leo for the first time. I think we are Monda. Karibu sana Monda. And we also working on Rema. Sijili umeenda wapi Rema? You need to give us your proposal on the diaspora conversation that we have planned. We are going to have so that watu wa diaspora pia waweze kuchangia kwa uendeshaji wa nchi yao. So I hope you have these conversations more. This is the tackle and the tackle ends now. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Tuambie nani yupo na itakuwa vipi. Asante sana kwa kuweza kujumuika na sisi. We love you guys. The tackle loves you. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye.